Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, the video game series in which we take a recently released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Pronty, Fishy Adventure, which is a side-scrolling platformer combat game with minimal puzzles, I think is the best way of describing this. It's pretty cute, it's pretty awesome. I have enjoyed my time with it and I will probably play it a fair bit more. As always, we'll look at the options first, and then we'll go into the actual gameplay, and we'll go into the real meat of the game. There's a fair amount to cover, so fair warning, this is probably going to be a longer video. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it and see what it's got to offer. Here we are then, the options menu. Now, what I will say is that the options menu, as well as most of the other art in this game, is really, really good. Most games that I've covered recently have had a very bog standard, here's your options, there's no art, there's no creative flair, it's just an options menu. Whereas this has been well illustrated. You've got your options here, and then you've got your little tridents as arrows instead of just arrows. It's a little bit more attention to detail that I really quite like, you know. One negative is that just by hovering over the controls or the different options, it automatically changes that menu. That is quite annoying. I would prefer if it was more of a hard select opposed to just simply hovering your mouse over. It can be quite... You're trying to sort your options out and you just accidentally move your mouse or whatever and you change option screen. It's not ideal. That I would like to see changed. Other than that, there's not a huge amount here. You got your VSync rate on or off. You've got your frame rate, which you can limit. Your resolution, whether you want full screen on or off. It would be nice if there was more graphics options, but again, this is just a 2D side scroller. It does run very smooth though, and the animations overall are really quite nice. Your controls, which you can rebind if you so desire, not really any point to. So far, all I've used is WSD and my mouse button, using other commands as prompt to on the screen to bring up my map and things like that. So I wouldn't say there's a real need to sit and rebind your controls, but if you do want to, you can do that. It is an option. And that really is all there is to say about the options, other than it looks very pretty and the switching between them is a bit annoying. Let's jump into the game because that is anything but annoying. Alright then, we are in the game. Now, even though this is a side-scrolling sort of platformer with minimal puzzles sort of game, you've also got strong RPG elements as well. You can upgrade your character using what's called a memory board. As you can see, there's lots of different memories and stuff that you can find, and these are passive boosts, or at least that's what they've been so far. As you can see, I've only found 2 so far. So you've got gravitational pull, which allows you to collect items as you go by them, as opposed to having to go down and collect them all individually. Something that, in my opinion, should be on by default, but you get it within the first 10 minutes of the game, so basically a default thing. And then the all-seeing eye, which allows you to see the health of your remaining enemies, which again is quite useful. As you can see, there's lots of slots here, but we can only have up to 3 of them. These are the 2 that it gives you by default. I'm assuming there's going to be a third one, and then it will go further into how to unlock more. Then you've got skills here, which we haven't unlocked yet. Your inventory, map, and encyclopedia. Now, when you go into an option from, like, the base, like we have done, you can't actually select any of these because you're on the memory board. So you have to come out of it. But then I'm fairly sure if you hit V anywhere in the game, it brings up the memory board again. And this time you can actually see that you can click on all of the options. I don't know if I like this or not. It seems like a bit of a silly thing to have it in the game when you can just bring it up anywhere. Design choice maybe, not a very good one. Again, we haven't unlocked skills at all, so we haven't got that far in the game yet, so I don't know what skills I'm going to be able to unlock for my sidekick / weapon. Inventory shows you what you've got. You're going to need these items that you collect from enemies in order to exchange for other items from like the bases and stuff that you can then exchange, which I'll show you in a second. Your map shows you where you've been and where you need to go. As you can see, you've got different outposts and stuff, and the map is discovered as you go through, which is something that's, you know, it's been in games for a while. There's nothing overly out of the ordinary here. I like the little legend icon. As you discover more things, this will grow as well. And then your encyclopedia, which is just your codex. So you've got the creatures that you can see, tells you about Pronty, and then you can go across and you can see that you've got the Bront as well, which is the weapon thing. You've got the battle dummies. You know, each things that you discover, it comes up in the encyclopedia. And then you hit escape to leave and go to the next one. You've got your locations, which shows you where you've been. Tutorial, if you ever need to go back through the tutorial, and others, which is just random posters and things that you get as you go through the game. Shows you what each of the items are that it is explained, and new tech and stuff that you find throughout the game as well. To move, you simply just W, A, S, and D, W and S to go up and down, left and right, A and D. And then your weapon, which is your Bront here, that follows you around. Wherever you point on the screen, you can then attack. Now, this is going to be pretty much what you do throughout most of the game, as the enemies will just constantly come at you. It's not the most exciting combat you've ever seen, but it works really well, and if you get yourself into a pickle, you've got to be really good with the mouse to get it in the right place, and you can also lose Pronty as well. So this is showing you where we are, and these are your different outposts and stuff, which is kind of cool, and you can press space to travel. Obviously, this vault is not working. Apparently, alright, I've got to repair 2 outposts before I can travel to it, which is fair. So then you basically just leave, and then you move to the next zone. The world is very pretty. It is, even though it's an underground, underwater sort of area, it is very, very pretty. It's all been done very, very well. The animation is smooth. Some of the storyboards go like a comic book, which again is done very, very well. And it tells a fairly interesting story, although I think I've already figured out what the story is going to end up like. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure how I feel about that because I don't know if that's going to come to pass or not. You know, I don't know if it's just me guessing with it. Now, if I'd have read what that plant thing was saying to me, I would have probably worked that out. So we're going to come back. Can I go against that? I don't think I can. Wall there, which I can't go through. So this is what I mean. There's puzzles in the game as well, right? You've got to do puzzles in order to progress, and it will teach you new things as well. We are very much in tutorial stages, but it teaches you ways to go around and how to explore and how to move from your platform and stuff, which is really kind of cool. I'm a big fan. Overall, this game is very, very good. It is as difficult as you want it to be. I've obviously got it on the easiest difficulty just so I can showcase it. Right, so we need to dash, 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 like so. Again, it just looks really good. It looks incredible. It plays very smooth, it plays very well, it's very fun. The enemies are again going to be as challenging or as not challenging as you like. Oh, I didn't do that well. Oh, nailed it. The platforming is going to be a problem for me personally, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem for most people. I don't think it's going to be that difficult or that challenging. It's not going to be a high tier type game. The difficulty for me, I think, for a lot of people is going to come with the combat when you up the difficulty of the actual game itself. Overall, very, very well done game. I love the art style. I love the animation of it. I'm hoping the story's not going to be as cliched as what it is or what it has appeared to be. The combat, although simplistic, is fun. The platforming seems really, really interesting. As you can see, the combat, although it looks really good, you're just sat pressing your left mouse button over the enemies. It's not that informed, but I don't think it's really like a huge problem. I don't think it's a huge focus of the game. But there you go. That is Pronty, a fish tale. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think, and I shall see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.